Heyo, you're tuning into Toasted Time, where I cook your time with some Reddit stories. Right now, we've got Off My Chest, where OP's wife hates their son. Our first story is by Need to Vent. My wife hates our son, and I hate her for that. He is just a 7-year-old boy, but she says the most vile, soul-crushing things to him that no child should ever hear from their parent, and she wonders why he prefers my company to hers. And she acts like a spoiled brat. Honestly, she acts like a teenage girl pissed off that her baby brother is getting more attention than she is. I try my best to diffuse bad situations when they happen, and I try to be fair and call it like I see it. Honestly, when she goes off on him for no reason, I have to fight back a powerful urge to just not beat the holy hell out of her for being so mean and cruel to him. My son has ADHD and my wife has BPD. This makes for a very terrible relationship. The boy merely existing is enough to set her off some days. Sometimes he pushes her buttons and I get it, and I stand with her when he does that. Most days though, he is minding his own business and she finds excuses to scream at him, which lead to us screaming at each other. I'm worried she's screwing him up mentally, and I'll be spending my golden years talking to him through a glass at a prison because he'll be so messed up. I don't dare try and take him and leave because I'm male, which means the courts are already stacked against me. I'm more useful to my son when I'm available all the time rather than just when she says so, and she would keep him from me just to spite me, and his situation would get much worse. I hate my wife. She is such a mean person. Hey, I was the kid in almost the exact same situation. Here's a few very, very likely truths. However she is when you are there, she is likely 10 times worse when you're not. Check for signs of injury on your son. And yes, she is screwing him up mentally. I've been diagnosed with CPTSD, and as a grown adult, I've been sent into crying fits because someone unexpectedly opened a door behind me. I have to take multiple medications to manage my anxiety and function as a normal human being. I still get nightmares, and I still think about offing myself at least once a week. It will get much worse when he reaches puberty. You are damaging your relationship with your son, and that damage will be irreparable if you don't take action now. I have a good relationship with my dad now, but even to this day there are some parts of me that doesn't trust him because of all the times he did side with her when I was young. And honestly, I don't know if I can fully trust anyone. If you love your son, leave her and get him off of this situation now. The courts aren't nearly as stacked against you as they were when my dad was raising me. I would like to add number 4 with a different perspective because I wasn't lucky enough to have a parent who spoke up for me. As an adult, I asked my mother why she never tried to make our abusive situation better. Her response was that she had become content with her situation and was upset with me because I pushed back against it instead of conforming to the normality it had become. I still struggle to this day with the repercussions of my childhood and would never wish the feelings of loneliness and worthlessness I struggle with on anyone. The feeling of worthlessness and literally being told that you're property and have no rights or autonomy is really tough to work past after growing up with that. Being a perfectionist because any tiny bit of valid criticism makes me feel like I'm not worth anything. Man, that fridging hurts to read. Crappy parents make me so angry. At least they didn't try to rationalize it and basically said, I'm just selfish. I hope they're no longer in your life, and I hope that in your lifetime you can figure out how to undo all the hurt and destruction they caused you and in your psyche. I usually don't wish a horrible passing on anyone, but if it has to happen to someone, I hope it is them. I don't really have any comforting words, but I want to let you know that none of this is your fault and you deserve so much better out of your parents. And the next story comes from Angsty Turtle. I am a 27-year-old man who has long since moved out from my parents' house. I pay my own bills, have a stable job, do taxes, and make my own doctor appointments. I have gotten acclimated with taking care of myself and being an adult. I went grocery shopping and went to the cold aisle that sells butter and yogurt, and as I was getting my healthy butter, I walked past some Danimals. I used to love those things, but my mom refused to buy them. Always said that they were disgusting and weren't worth the cost. And as I passed the Danimals, my very first thought was, Mom won't let me have any of that. And as I continued shopping, I realized just how dumb that train of thought was, and I got angry with myself. I'm an adult, I screamed in my head, and I can eat whatever I want. I bought 2 cases of Danimals, went home, slurped one with my fiance, and we both spat it back up. It was the most disgusting thing in the world. I have never been so disappointed and angry in my life. It was just so ridiculously bad, and I felt like a moron for spending so much money on 2 cases that are now in the trash. So, did you feel bad for spending the money, or that your mom was right about it? Both. It was a dumb amount of money for Danimals of all things, and I hate it when my mom is right. I have a few kids just a few years younger than you. I never laugh more when they make those calls. As they navigate adulthood several times, I have gotten those calls. When my middle was in RA, they had to teach a bunch of freshmen how to do laundry. They called me and said, I was so angry when you made us start doing laundry too at 12. It felt unfair, but how do you send your kid to college and not teach them to do things to take care of themselves? Sometimes there are actual reasons. When I hit uni, I was not even able to cook an egg. My mother is old school, and she complained that she did all the chores but silently and aggressively prevented us to do it. She is a fine chef that never wanted me in her kitchen. I learned by myself the hard way. Nowadays, all of my children could eat by themselves at 6, use applications at 7, and cook an egg or pancake or pasta at 8. I learned to trust my mom on food quite young. My mom is an amazing cook, born and raised by Italian immigrants, and she always made her own pasta and sauce. When I was in elementary school, they sent home menus so you could decide what you wanted to buy at the school lunch. I remember they had ravioli on the menu, and I got excited. I wanted it. My mom tried to tell me that it wasn't going to be what I thought and wouldn't like it. I knew no ravioli except her and my grandma's homemade, and ultimately, she let me get it. I vividly remember how disgusting it was and literally spitting the first bite back on my tray. I definitely learned my lesson and never doubted my mom on food again. My parents also never let me get sugar cereal. When I went to college and ate it in the cafeteria, I realized it was definitely not as good as I'd believed it to be. I quickly abandoned it as a cereal option. This is so wholesome. This is exactly how I felt when I tried the school pizza lamau. My family were also descendants of Italian immigrants, great-great-grandparents, and boy, my dad is a great cook. His pizza, he usually makes us grilled homemade everything. And the first time I tried school pizza, I nearly puked, gagged and all lamau. Yeah, that's a lesson that you always learn when you're young. Or say if you're someone who knows how to actually cook. You eat food at the cafeteria once and you're like, wow, this was a mistake of $5. I'm not doing this again. Man, this post is giving me flashbacks of me at age 19, my first apartment, eating an entire tube of Pillsbury cookie dough just because my mother used to scold me to not eat it because I'd get sick. So it was my, screw this, I'm an adult, it is my money and I will enjoy it. I was sick for a week. My mom was absolutely right. Isn't that so cursed though? The most delicious form of cookie, which is cookie dough. And if you disagree, I'm gonna fight you on that because the cookie dough is always delicious. But you always, every single time you take a bite of it, you're risking getting sick. And man, that is a game I play constantly. Because man, cookie dough just hit way too good, you know? And you continuing on. Now, before we continue on, I just want to ask that if you are enjoying this so far that you consider recommending this channel to friends and family or just people you know, cause the help for this channel is greatly appreciated. So, to continue on, and the final story comes from No Pin. And then the final story today is absolutely insane. Let me take you down this road. I'm using a throwaway account for my safety. I was outed by my cousin as gay to my parents, who are devout Muslims and have no issue with the concept of honor. And now they are threatening to call the cops on me. I live in a country where homosexuality is illegal. Words cannot describe how scared and frightened I am right now, and no amount of convincing is going to make them change their minds, and I have nowhere to go even if I decide to escape. No one wants to associate with me, and I have no support system at all. I'm feeling so isolated from everyone right now, and I recently talked with my dad, and he said the chance of an honor is most likely. And the first comment is the one that I agree with most. You're going to load a backpack tonight and get moving. Just get out of there. Pick a direction and walk. Hop on a train if you can. Buy a motorbike or a scooter. Just keep moving in a direction. Literally nothing to lose at this point. If this post is real, this is the single best option. Don't give anyone your real name. Don't tell them why you're running. If you keep going, eventually you'll reach a part of the world where you can start over safely. It is completely possible to walk away from your old life and never be found. And then we get a different idea. You should go visit the US Embassy and apply for asylum. Your life literally depends on it. Seriously, like right now, get out of the country and never look back. The US or any country where it isn't illegal to literally exist. Wherever is easier to go. This crap is frigging terrifying. What the fridge are human rights? Yes, US, France, Canada, Netherlands, Norway, Sweden, etc. God, that is horrific. I'm so sorry you're going through this. I'm truly terrified for you, OP. You do not deserve this treatment at all, especially this. Please don't let yourself fall victim to this. Run somewhere, please, if you can. Pack all your essentials, passport, gadgets, credit card, debit cards, all the money you have, some clothes and food, and just find any mode of transportation that allows you to instantly leave. Throw your SIM and get a new one so your family can't trace you back. And as for support, I hope you have some friends who are allies on your side. If not, there are always people on this platform, including me, who'd be ready to help you at a moment's notice. Please take care and stay safe, OP. Your life depends on it. And I just hope you know that you have the right to live a full, happy life. And if running away from your family who literally wants to take this right of yours away is the only way to do it, then so be it. I hope you gain the courage to do so. Take care. And yeah, I didn't even think about that, but yeah, no, ditch the SIM card. You cannot keep that on you. That they will die. I mean, if they're willing to go as far as honor, doing that, then I would not doubt that they would also go as far to trace your SIM card. So yeah, no, ditch it. Leave. Get out of the country. Holy cow. Ugh. And then I just have to point this out. I don't like the father in this case. He's so blasé about the fact that you're literally about to just pass away. Like he is acting as such that a father, in my opinion, should never act. I would not claim him to be a good father. He sucks. I mean, granted, he already sucks. Like, not like I can claim he's not a good father because he's actively saying, "Oh yeah, you're probably gonna just pass away from this moment." Like, why is he so blasé? It is your child, dude. Ugh. Anyways. Well, that is about it for those stories today. But if you enjoyed, please like and subscribe to become a fellow bread bag. But aside from that, I post 2 new videos every day, so I hope to see you next time toasting session. But until then, have a good one.